Hello everyone, welcome to another episode on Being Real with Sophia. I'd like us to have our bottles of water beside us, and when we get back, we're going to talk about the topic for today. Usually in life, people go through different challenges. Some are able to get out of it, some are not able to get out of it. Some time ago, I met a lady who told me her story, but her story and her, they just do not blend. And then it dawned on me to tell her to come on my set and let everyone hear her story, because we're going to learn from it. And most stories are better understood and appreciated when it is heard from the horse's mouth. So I'd like to introduce you to my guest, a very special guest for today. Her name is Ruth Awona. Ruth, welcome to Being Real with Sophia.
Thank you for having me, Sophia.
Okay, the last time we talked or we had the conversation, there were some striking stories you told me, or there was a striking story you told me that led to several other stories. And I was wondering how, you're able to pass through the phase and look the way that you look. You actually really look very wonderful. So I'd like you to tell the audience or tell our viewers what your story is like. I'd like to hear the story, and I want them to hear it. Well, I've heard it before, but I want them to hear it.
Okay, from the horse's mouth.
Exactly.
Wow, I really do appreciate this opportunity for me to actually, for the first time, tell my story in this kind of a big platform. I know so many people are watching us right now. 7 years ago or 8 years ago, I was married. I felt that I had the best man on earth. Little did I know that he wasn't that kind of wonderful man that I thought he was. So on my wedding night, while we were in the hotel for our honeymoon, calls came in, messages kept coming in for congratulations and all that. But there was one particular one that came in. I read it, but it was saying something else. I won't leave you. I still love you. You still come back to me. I can't leave you. It's better I die than leave you. Sophia, my heart was like, no, not on my wedding night. What is going on? So I didn't tell him. Like, I was too shocked to even say a word. Like, oh baby, what is it? Did someone send money? I said, this is more than money. Money? And he was like, why? Why are you sobbing? Why are you crying? I said, I think you should read this message. And then he grabbed the phone. Immediately it dawned on him that maybe something was going wrong. So he grabbed the phone from me, and then he read the message and said, oh, stop. Is this the reason? Is this why you're, man, with your sweet mouth and sweet voice and deceitfulness. Sorry, not all men. Some of these men. Not angry right now.
I can no, seriously, because I can relate. It's never happened to me, so I can see it's but I can feel how you are feeling, because it's for you to speak this way. It means you had a lot of trust. You trusted this person completely,
so much,
and you probably would have even sacrificed a lot to get to where you both got to at that point in time.
Everything about our relationship started dropping. Yes, the love was no longer there. The affection was no longer there. He comes home tired, and every now and then he's having work to do, either in one state or the other. More than how it used to be.
So at what point did it, you knew that, okay, what, this was over? What was that thing that he did? What was that, that you came to a point and said, okay, no more. And how did you, react to it and all that?
The thing is, I was still there. Like, even when he one day broke like broke out. Like he had been holding back so many pain and all that. He told me outrightly that he didn't love me anymore and that he loved the other lady. That, to be honest, he wanted to break up with her, but he couldn't. These things only happen in the movies, people. but to be honest, I was just trying to understand myself at that point, coming face to face with that kind of reality. He said he loved the other lady, that he doesn't know why, but his life and neck is at stake. So I could not keep it anymore after 8 months, I couldn't keep that kind of thing to myself alone. I talked to my bishop, my church, because we attend the same church. I talked to his father. They tried calling him to help him to understand what exactly was the problem, but he told them in that meeting that he didn't love me anymore. I was shocked. I was excused from the meeting. Like 2 hours, everybody wanted to know if I had done something wrong to him that he needed to tell them. And he swore before them and before God that I didn't do anything wrong to them, but his heart was no longer with me, that he loved the other lady.
Wow. And you were, at that point, you were already pregnant?
I was heavily pregnant. I was almost giving birth. I was 8 months plus. So that night when we got home, because that was the first general meeting with family and church leaders. So when we got home, I went kneel before him, like at least let him see my baby bump, and maybe perhaps he'll have some mercy.
But it didn't work.
It didn't work. I begged him to please stay for the baby. I begged him to stay for us. So he told me to stop crying. I should not worry, so that the baby will not be affected. That I should not worry, that when I give birth, I'm a beautiful woman, that someone more deserving will come and marry me.
So that's when you had to leave. I think at that point, that's when you had to.
Just before then, I discovered some travel documents.
So he traveled outside the country and left you here in Nigeria.
Yes.
So what happened is that you had to start all over again.
Oh my goodness, Sophia. I broke down. That was when I crashed, actually. In fact, when all this started, it wasn't as if anything happened until when I wasn't seeing him anymore, until when he actually traveled. That's when everything crashed for me. I carried my baby. I was still schooling then. I was doing some business, but I was still in school, Unical. So I'll take my baby to school. I'll take my baby to my business place. I'll come back, put him with my sister. Everything was upside down for me. I could no longer concentrate in school. There are a lot of things that happened to me. I was always feeling this migraine. I felt that one day I may just drop and die. I didn't know that heartbreak is like that. I hear people go to hang themselves, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Are you crazy to go commit suicide because someone doesn't love you? I didn't know how it felt until I was in that shoe.
I want to really know, after you broke down completely, you started over again. So now the point is, because a lot of people are watching and they want to know how you started over again.
I met a friend one day. She arranged a psychologist for me. She said it was a friend. I visited her that day, and then there was this guy. He was so handsome, Mike. So we just talked, and he just helped me to say, come on, what do you like doing? I said, I used to love singing then. I used to love dancing, and maybe he said, come on, let's go to the studio tomorrow. And that's how we went to Edeli's one nice studio in Calabar. We went the next day, we booked a session, and we went, and then that's how I started easing up. Yes, easing up. And then finally, when I took a job again back in a nursery school, I started teaching these children. Every morning when I go see their innocent face, even when I'm not eating that morning, they say, oh, Miss Ruth, I like your hair. Miss Ruth, these children are innocent, and then they bring light and life back into your life. I started
learning to love
myself, learning to let go.
First, you were able to make lemonade out of lemon.
Okay.
That's what you did, first and foremost. Mm-hmm. Secondly, you said the way you transited, you met a psychologist that actually helped you walk through that phase in your life that you needed to get out of it.
Yes.
And then thirdly, you started teaching, and then you started teaching little children.
Yes.
Who showed you extreme and total genuine love. So at the point where they showed you so much love, you said, oh, if this kid could love me like that, there's something in me that's lovable.
I did a reset.
Exactly. Your brain just, the rebooting was very fast.
Seriously.
So you had to reboot your brain, and then you came back to. So first things, I'll say congratulations, Ruth. You've come this far, and I'll say thank God we do not look like what we've been through.
No.
Because take a good look at you. You look really amazing. And you have a wonderful son who is 7 years old. Man, you don't even look like you have a child. So that means what you're doing is that you're taking very good care of yourself.
Of course.
So congratulations, Ruth.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to share your story with you. From the way you spoke, I know the story means a lot to you, and it took a lot from you to actually open up. But I said, no, people need to hear this, because a lot of people they've been going through this kind of phase, and they're still thinking of how to come out of it. I hope we all learned a lot from Miss Ruth's story. It doesn't matter what you're going through. All I tell you is love yourself, because God loves you. Don't put pressure on yourself. Take one step at a time, one day at a time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again same time next week. God bless you.